My God, I'm doing a double upload. I know, guys, right? I just figured I should start getting back to it. So, double upload today. Last one was a bonus track from my album I just released yesterday. Like I said, keep going to support that. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, because that is the most personal thing I've ever done. It's about my life. And, yeah. Very, very sentimental to me. Anyway. With all that craziness aside, I completely forgot. I saw Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 yesterday. So this is going to be a spoiler for review on it. So I'm going to first off by saying I've seen all the Mission Impossible movies. I always was a big fan of them. Great action blockbuster stuff, right? Tom Cruise, big Hollywood actor. All that stuff. Right? So, saw that. Seen all of them. Loved all of them. Saw the trailer for this. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't like when it says part 1. I don't like having cliffhangers like that. But, you know, more and more movies are having having two movies, like part 1 and a part 2, more and more. It's kind of the thing now to make more money. So anyway, you know, but that aside. So I'm just going to go over, give you my thoughts, general plot description, you know, all that jazz with my other movie reviews. So saw it yesterday. So basically this film follows Ethan Hunt, obviously again, and him being in the IMF, which you guys know what that is from the other films. Him being the IMF, goes on this, gets sent on this mission to find an old friend of his who has gotten herself into major trouble. She's gotten herself into major trouble because, well, I'm going too far. Because something happened. So we open up, beginning of the film, opens up with a Russian submarine. And all throughout this film, there's a villain, but it's not a villain in the way you would think. I'm not going to get into it here. But, yeah. So anyway, they open up in a Russian submarine. There's a key that you use to open up something on the submarine that causes a lot of chaos to happen after. So we get past that scene, and then you move into present day where Ethan Hunt, or Tom Cruise's character, is still doing his thing, right? He gets the thing in every Mission Impossible movie where it's like, your task, if you choose to accept it, is this. If your friends or anyone, if you get killed or any of your friends get killed or any of you get caught, you know, there will be severe consequences, you know, etc. So he accepts it, obviously, because he's part of the IMF. Accepts it. His task is to go find his friend who's in a lot of trouble right now and acquire 2 halves of this key that unlocks something. No one knows what it unlocks. They just know that it's a very important key, and you need to have both to unlock this super important thing. So he gets sent off on this mission. First, he goes to the desert to try to find her, and lo and behold, she's there. These cartel people, army men, the cartel follow them to the desert to try to take the key before she can get the key. But she acquires the key, but then, you know, they come after her, and, you know, something happens to where, I'm not going to get into it, something happens to where you think someone is something, but they're not, okay? So then we move on. The next scene, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Then he meets this new girl in the airport on the way to Rome. And she actually has the other half of the key. So he's got to try to stop her and get the key from her and then give it to this buyer who's coming to the airport to get on a flight to go to Rome. And chaos ensues, and they're not able to get it. And meanwhile, you got this other task force that are going after Ethan to try to capture him or whatever like that. So yeah, this movie's crazy. So you get the airport scene. There's a scene where there's like a bomb, and you have to disarm it, but like there's no bomb there when they open it, which ties into what the main villain of this film is. I'm not gonna get into it. Anyway, you go to the Rome scene. This is the coolest scene ever. They get chased. They drive around in the car with the doors off, and you get to a certain point where he gets handcuffed, and he's driving the car while handcuffed. So that's a crazy action scene. Somewhere along the line, the car crashes into another car and they have to get out. And then like a yellow Fiat is waiting for them. And then just them trying to drive the Fiat with like a bunch of like cobblestone on the road, because this is in Rome and stuff, and they're taking all the side streets. That's pretty cool. That's crazy. So that scene happens. He somehow gets away from everything. Then we find out there's other people here that are interested in the key. So this key is very powerful. The government wants it. Some cartel people want it. The FBI, not the FBI, the task force wants it. Everyone wants this key. But no one knows what it unlocks except one person. And that one person is, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but because I think it's in the trailer, but if it's not, someone from the old movies is turned out to be back in this film. And I'm not going to say who. You guys can see it and find out. Anyway, he comes back. He's the only one that knows what the key unlocks. So they're trying to, they don't want to kill him because he's the only one that knows. But obviously, there's history between this person and Ethan. And so Ethan has to try his best not to kill him, obviously. So he's the only one that knows what it unlocks. He is going to this banquet party or whatever to try to meet up with the other buyer. Or a lot of people are interested in this key. So a bunch of these buyers meet at this gala to try to get both halves of the key. The person who has history with Ethan ends up getting the key. And then he ends up wanting to go on a train to give it to the real buyer who is acquiring the key, which is someone from the government. So this key's very powerful. Like, everybody wants this key. It's like a full-out battle for it. So you got on this train scene, and the key ends up getting swapped with the actual buyer, but no. We think that they swapped the key and gave it to the government, but the girl, I forgot her name, Grace, actually keeps the key for herself, and then she gives it to, or she keeps it. She goes on the train, she does this mission to try to acquire it, she has it. Ethan comes in late. He parachutes in through the window, which is freaking cool. That was pretty cool. So, and then they get on the train, they do the thing. Bunch of chaos ensues. The train is going on a bridge that is going to rig to blow up. And so they have to try to figure out how to stop the train. But they can't stop the train because the guy that is the villain in this has first of all killed the person that works the train, and then he made it so you can't stop the train. So the train is just not stopping, and the explosions are gonna go off any minute now. They go off, and then they try to disconnect each train car individually, and this leads to intense scenes. They have to climb up every train car to make sure they don't fall. But yeah, and then at the end of this, Ethan is meeting up with his friend Benji, and they're going to the submarine to try to stop this I guess I'll tell you, this AI. There's this super powerful AI in this movie, and so they're trying to stop this AI and try to unlock it, which the AI was on the Russian submarine, and that's where it's kind of located. And so the way this movie ends off is kind of on the way to the submarine. That's kind of where it ends. So it's going to pick up after that. But anyway, I thought that this had to be one of the best Mission Impossible in the franchise. I'd have to say. I really enjoyed it. Great action. Really funny. Like, the stakes in this were high. And I thought they really delivered. So I enjoyed it. Definitely go see it in theaters. And let me know what you guys think. Anyway, 2 uploads for you. Go check out my other upload. Anyway, peace, love, positivity. Catch you all in the next upload.